A friend of mine was having problems starting his four-wheeler, and so I told him to bring it over and I'd have a look at it. This is a Polaris outlaw 110. It's got the EFI, the fuel injection. Well, the problem is, you can crank it. I mean, you can't crank it. You turn it on, and when you push the start, you hear that? It just clicks. Whenever it doesn't crank, it doesn't do anything, doesn't turn over, I categorize that as an electrical problem. And the first thing whenever I have an electrical problem is I check to make sure that the battery is full. Sometimes it could be as simple as that. Yeah, it says it has 12.5 volts, so that's good. I feel confident it's not the battery, so the next thing that I'll check is the solenoid. On this four-wheeler, the solenoid is actually, it's usually you would think of a solenoid as a little round device, but this one is square. It looks more like a relay. And it's right up under, right behind here. This is just a little metal tab that's welded onto the frame, and this is a rubber holder, and so it should slide off of here. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna test let me see. Let me first check the continuity between these. Nothing. Okay. These two bottom ones are giving me a reading. And none of the other ones are. So I have these little jumper wires here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook one to this and one. These are the points that are closer together. Now, red first, and we'll see if it clicks. Yep. That's working. So since when I hook these up to the battery, this clicks. These two must be the side that the power goes into from the battery. And these that are spread a little farther apart, they should come out to the starter to make the starter work. So this should take power from here and send it out. Let me test and see if these two are getting power. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook these up to the battery, and then I'll touch the prongs from my multimeter to these other sides, and we'll see if it gets a reading. Because I don't have more than two hands, I got this little alligator clip here, and we'll clip that to there. I don't know if the polarity matters. I'll switch them around and see if I get a reading either way. So, let's see. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, so we have the negative of the multimeter hooked up. And so let's see, connect the red first, and now I'll go ahead and touch that, plug this in, or just touch it to it. So it's clicking, but I'm not getting any reading on there. Let me switch these around just to make sure. Yep, not getting any reading. Hey my friends, welcome back. I got the solenoid in the mail today, and I ran out here and put it on, thinking that it was gonna crank, and it didn't. It just did the same thing. So it wasn't the solenoid. Solenoid is good. I guess I don't really know how to test one with a multimeter, but it was good. So I put the old one back on and figured, you know, trying to think maybe it had some kind of neutral safety switch where if it wasn't completely in, I mean, this only has forward and reverse, but switched it around, banged at it a little bit, and still nothing. So I decided to take off the starter, and I took off the breather box first, just because there was hardly any room in there, and I couldn't get my hand in there to take the bolts off the starter. I had to take the breather box off. If you're doing this job, you may be able to do it without it, but it just makes it a little bit easier to do that, and the tube that goes to the intake. Well, anyways, that's where we are now. So let's roll that footage. Well, I've tested a lot of starters in my day, and this one is not working. You hook up the ground to part of the case, and you hook up the power to this piece here, and once you touch you hook up the red to the battery, and then once you touch the negative, it should connect the current and this should start. And it did nothing at all. And I tested the battery, it's good, so I know that's not what it is. So just to be on the safe side, or just to make sure, I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. And I like to connect my negative to this, but I'm gonna go ahead and touch it to the one in the back, just to see if maybe it's not getting a good connection up there. So to that, and let's see. I always hate doing this. It makes me so nervous because it's gonna start. Nope, nothing at all. So I'm going to go ahead and take this starter apart, have a look at it, see what's going on. It might just be the brushes that need to be replaced, and I've done that before. It's not that difficult to do, but I'll walk you through the process in case you need to do it. Let's check and see if that's what the problem is. Let's see. I don't want the screwdriver to slip. Got one of them. to slip and hit my hand. Ah, there we go. Wasn't so bad. Now let's see if pieces of brushes fall out. That's what it looks like inside if you're wondering. Yeah, look at all that. This should be copper, not black. Yeah. There's the springs. It's stuck in there. That's pretty bad. There's a spring. See how this one is popped out? It holds it so it pushes up against the stator. These little brushes should push up against the stator. This one is pushed down so far in there, it's not making any connection. And I know you can't see it, but that spring is just down in there stuck. So I'm gonna get a pick, pull that out. See what we can do. There's the springs and there's the brushes. What I want to do is clean that up and put this back in here and see if it'll start. I need some electric cleaner. Yep. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Go down to the Indian dealership. I doubt they have these in stock. I'll probably have to order them, but I'll do that, and I'll pick up some of the spray QR. I believe it's CRC is the name of that company, I think. I don't know, I don't remember. But get something to clean all this up with and see if I can find replacements for this. That'll be our... I'm pretty sure this is what, this is what the problem is. Get this fixed and that four-wheeler should start right up. I found the brushes online. I could order them. They'll cost $20, but I always don't like waiting, so I thought maybe they might have them in stock at the Indian dealership, but they didn't have them there. They would have to order them, and they gave me, it was a different part number. It had superseded, and so they gave me the new part number for it, and a different place down the street that might have them. I called them, they didn't have them either. They would have to order them as well. And it'll take 2 weeks for them to get them, and it'll take me just a few days. So I'll just go ahead and order them and wait the few days. But the part number 2110-0045 if you if you need the brushes for this particular bike. That's what this particular four-wheeler, that's the part number for the brushes. I ran up to the parts store and got some electronic cleaner, and I was going to clean up the starter, put it back together with the old brushes in it while I'm waiting, and see if I can get it to turn over. Just just for fun, I guess. So let's see if it works. I hate to do anything to parts like this, but I think I'm gonna try sanding this down a little bit because it is not gonna get a connection with all of that. Even if I put new brushes on there, it's not really gonna get a good connection. It'd be best if I had something like emery cloth that won't leave little particles behind, but yeah, that's working good. This is 600 grit here. Gotta be careful, don't want to shake this out here. But yeah, there, that looks better. Putting those brushes in was really hard because you couldn't hold them in to put this on top of it. They're popping out and it won't go on without them being in place. They just keep popping out and getting under the part. Commutator it's called. And I was calling it stator earlier, but I believe it's called a commutator. Anyways, what I finally ended up doing was getting the like some bread ties and wrapping them around wire. I didn't want to pull on the wires because they're copper and they break easily, but that was the only way I could do it. Is I tightened it, I wrapped it around this, tightened it really tight so it's holding it back, and then I did the same thing on the other side. Then I slipped this down in place, and it was kind of hard to get in place. And then the little plastic coating on the zip tie was breaking off, and I didn't want to leave that in there, so it was a little bit of a challenge to get this back together. Inside of here there's a little notch, so then that's how the screws will fit. Okay, let's see if it works. Red to the red. And now the ground. Now if it works, it's probably gonna flip it over. So be ready. I think it's gonna work. Let's see. Yep. Awesome. Since it works, I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in and see if it should crank it, and give them the option on if they want to order new brushes or just wait till it stops again, since we know what it is. I mean, it might work for another year before we have to replace the brushes. I mean, they're only 20 bucks, but it was stuck in there, and now it's unstuck, so might just work and keep on working. But so I'm gonna put it back together, see how it goes. Now I wish I could give you a better view, but I can't really be in here, have you in between me and what I'm doing. So get as good as I can. This has to go on exactly right. We'll get that back together.